Good morning students. In this video we are going to see what is consideration. First we will see the meaning of consideration. It means something in return. Something in return in the sense it is called as a benefit. The other name of the consideration is benefit. When a party to the contract promises to do something, he will get something in return, that is called consideration. I will tell you in one simple example. A agrees to sell a house to Y for 50,000. I repeat once again. The example is A agrees to sell a house to Y for rupees 50,000. For X promise, the consideration is 50,000. For Y's promise, the consideration is the house. So both the persons get benefited, then it is called as a contract. And the definition of consideration is when at the desire of the promisor, the promisee or any other third person has done or abstained from doing or does or abstains from doing, or promises to do or to abstain from doing something, such act is called a consideration for the promise. This means consideration in the form of price or a return for the promise, then it is called as a consideration. The other name of the consideration we can call it as it's a quid pro quo, or give something or take something. You have to give, as a promiser, you have to give something to the promisee. Likewise, the promisee must give something to the promiser. So the promiser gives something and take something from the promisee. It is called as a consideration. The next we are going to see the need for consideration. The need for consideration is why we are need the consideration. Because there is no consideration, there is no agreement. There is no benefit means no one is interested to create agreement. If there is a benefit only, everyone have interest to enter into the agreement. That's why the consideration is very important for creating the agreement and for enforceability. If there is no consideration, then we cannot take any legal action against the person. So that's why we need consideration is very important to create the contract, and the consideration is considered as a life and blood of every contract. Example, A promises to pay rupees 5,000. If he fails to pay it to B, has no right to sue A for the breach of contract because there was no consideration on the part of B. So A have the promise to pay rupees 5,000, but he fails to pay, but B can't enforce A because of in part of B there is no consideration because there is no benefit against A. So B can't enforce or B can't take any legal action against A. The next one is kinds of consideration. The other name is it's called types of consideration. The first we are going to see the past consideration. Past consideration means it is executed before the promise. It is easily explained through the example is A is a person, save B's life. So B promises to pay rupees 1,000 out of gratitude. So A save B life. Because of the happiness, he is promised to pay rupees 1,000 to A. The B promise, it is called as a past consideration, which is already done, which is something done before making of the promise. So it is called as a past consideration. The next one is present or executed consideration. It is executed at the time of promise. So it is present. I will explain through the example. If one person buy a book from the seller and pay the price, the bookseller also deliver the goods to A and get the price from that buyer. So both the persons are benefited. So it is the present situation. So it is called as a present consideration. The next one is future or executory consideration. It is a consideration which has happened only in the future, not in the present. So its example is a promise to deliver goods to render service at a future date. Maybe this date is 1st July. He is going to deliver the goods on 5th July. So he is going to happen only in the future, not in the present day. The next one is essentials of consideration. Every agreement must be supported by consideration. Because there is no consideration, then there is no agreement. So without consideration, we can't create a valid agreement. If there is no consideration, then agreements becomes void. Because we can't create any legal action against the opposite person because of there is no consideration. If there is a consideration, then we can create a valid agreement and enforceability. Okay, next one is it must move at the desire of the promisor. The consideration must be moved only from the promisor, then only it is easily carried over by the promisor, and the promisee also give the consideration. And then the example is A notices B's house being on fire and voluntarily rushes to help B. Here there is no consideration. However, if A goes to help B at the desire of B, there is good consideration. So if there is a voluntarily he is went to help to one person because of his house is on fire, then it is not called as a valid consideration. Third one is it must proceed from the promisee or any other third person. The consideration first step is it is moved from the promisor, and the second level of consideration it can be moved from the promisee or any other third person. Any other third person is which is not related to the agreement. That person is called as a third party or stranger to the contract. So that person also can give the consideration on behalf of promisee. And the next one is consideration may be present, past or future. We already discussed in types of consideration. The present consideration means it is executed at the time of promise. Past consideration means executed before the promise, and the future consideration is it is executed only in the future period. And the next essential is it need not be adequate. Adequate means the consideration must not be in a exact value of the particular product. The cost is 500 and at the time of selling the price may be low. So it is also called, maybe some value is called as a consideration. It must be the exact value is not necessary to create a consideration. That's why they are mentioned the example A agrees to sell a radio worth rupees 500 for rupees 50 to B. The inadequate of the price in itself shall not render the transaction void. So the price may be varied because the price is 500 but now the price is 50. There is a vast variations, but the 50 rupees is also called as a value. So the transaction cannot be void. It is a valid transaction. The next one is it must be real and lawful. The consideration must be real and it should be definite. What is our real consideration? What is the value of the consideration? So we have to know that what is our consideration, then when it is called as a real and lawful. Lawful means the consideration must be in a legal. If there is a illegal consideration, then we can't enforceable. Okay, if there is a lawful consideration only, we have enforceability. If there is unlawful consideration, then there is no enforceability, then there is no contract. That's why it's mentioned as it is lawful. And it must not be illegal, immoral or opposed to public policy. Once it is affected with illegal or immoral or opposed to public policy, we cannot create a valid contract. And eighth one is it must be something which the promisor is not already bound to do. Once a promisor and promisee, both the persons are promised to do one particular activity, then both the persons have to complete the promise. So for completing the promise, if any person like promisor or promisee, they asking the extra consideration for completing that promise. It is equal to like bribe. Okay, so for extra consideration is not a good consideration. it's not create a valid consideration. Automatically it will affect the contract, then contract it becomes void contract.